Hello and welcome to Computology Academy. So the prelims exams for UPSC Civil Services is already over, and most of the students who have appeared in the exams are mainly concerned about two things. First, how much number of the questions they have answered correctly and how much marks they are going to get. So for that matter, you can go through the answer key video, the discussion video for the paper, through which you can analyze how much questions you are getting correct and how much questions you have marked incorrectly, and accordingly you can calculate your overall marks. And thereafter, the next biggest question in their mind is what would be the cutoff marks for the prelims examination, because they will get the ticket for the mains examination only when they will surpass, their score will be more than the cutoff marks, cutoff level marks. So today we are going to analyze the level of paper, the subject-wise distribution of the questions, how much numbers of questions were quite easy and how much number of questions were moderately tough and how much number of questions were very difficult to answer, and accordingly we will arrive at a probable cutoff. And this is the probable cutoff, this is not the authentic cutoff that is provided by the UPSC. However, most of the time we have predicted the cutoff quite closely, and that is why we recommend you to start your preparation if you are getting marks that is close to the cutoff, whether it is 2 or 4 marks above or below than the predicted probable cutoff. Because most of the times what will happen, the actual cutoff is 1 or 2 marks more or less than the predicted cutoff, and in that situation, if you have not started the preparation for the mains examination, then you will be at a losing end, because overall there is a gap of 102 days from the date of prelims examination and the start date of the mains examination. And even if you lose 10 days, then it would be detrimental for your chances to clear the mains examination. And that is why it is recommended to not lose even a single minute. However, there would have been some level of fatigue and exhaustion and all those kind of things. So if you go on to take the rest, then not more than 2 days. The 100 days should be dedicated for the preparation of the mains examination. And most of the students would have already done the preparation of the mains examination, and there is only a need of doing the super finishing job, the revision work. Whatever you have already read, that should be clearly in your mind. You will be in situation to answer the questions related to those topics at any point of time now onwards. That should be the level of your preparation. So now let us start and watch the video till the end, because it is going to be very helpful for you. And this is the snapshot from the video of last year's cutoff prediction, and you can analyze it quite easily that how closely we had predicted the cutoff. We had predicted the cutoff for last year's prelims examination, that was 85 marks plus minus 2, and the actual cutoff was 87.54. So those students who had the faith in our prediction and started the preparation for the mains examination would have done well in the mains examination, because all the students who would have faith in our probable cutoff prediction would have started the preparation, who would have been getting more than 85 marks, and the cutoff was 87.54 marks. And many of the channels and other sources were predicting the cutoff around 95 marks. So those students who would have been scoring around 90 or 92 marks and would have lost the faith in themselves might have lost their chances to clear the mains examination. So many a times you will find that many of the students as well many of the sources predict the cutoff very high, which is far away from the reality, and because of that many of the students get trapped in their point of view and they lose the faith in themselves and they are at the losing end in the mains examination. So don't do that and go on to prepare for the mains examination, because the preparation of civil services is a cyclic process and a continuous process. It is a journey, not the end, and that is why even if you are getting a bit less marks, then there will be a situation of maybe or may not be. That will be the situation of clearing the prelims examination and appearing in the mains examination. But after all, you have to appear in the examination in the coming session again, and you need the same study material, you need the same information and all the sources. So why not to be continuous, be persistent, be consistent in your study? So that should be your approach, rather than going through various sources for the cutoff. Have faith on one or two sources which are authentic, which are predicting the cutoff quite closely, and go on to prepare for the mains accordingly. Even if you are not going to surpass the cutoff mark, then also you should prepare for the mains, because it will set an annual plan for your coming journey, that from this month to this month I have to be in the mains mode, thereafter I will be back to the prelims mode or the interview mode, whatever will be the situation, and not to sit down and be tensed that I am getting the less marks, this is, that is, and whatever it would be. So don't get trapped in such kind of things, right? Now come to the distribution, question distribution subject wise. So this year there was a very high weightage for the economics questions. There were very high number of economics questions as well as the polity questions. So these two subjects had made more than 33% of the questions. So this is the number for the core polity and the economics questions, and the current affairs questions related to the polity, economy and the international issues were also very high, and in total there were 18 questions related to current affairs. So you can clearly analyze it might come down to be more than 100 questions, because some of the questions are overlapping. They may be classified in the economics or the current affairs, polity or current affairs, or geography or environment and ecology. So the classification is a bit flexible rather than being too rigid, because the same question can be considered by some students as the question related to geography, or as the question related to economics, or as the question related to current affairs. So that should be the situation. Next, the geography question. The geography questions were around 16 questions, and in the geography question this time the weightage of the map marking question was very high, and that too the map marking questions were like match the following type of questions. And this time the UPSC had made a new innovation that we discussed in the paper analysis also, and over there the UPSC has done what? One pair is matched correctly, two pair is matched correctly. So this thing should be noticed over there, because day by day the UPSC is making the paper pattern quite tough, and that is why as we are witnessing that year on year the cutoff marks is going down. In 2016 the cutoff marks was 116, and since then consistently the cutoff marks has witnessed a downward trend, and year on year every year the cutoff marks is going down. In 2020 the cutoff marks was around 92 marks, and thereafter what happened? The cutoff marks dipped by 5 marks and it came around 87 marks. So this is the trend, and again this year the cutoff marks is going to dip a bit because of the level of toughness of the question. Next is the history. The history question where around 14 questions. Next, art and culture. So the questions related to art and culture were around 5 questions, and if you say that core art and culture question, then around only 3 core art and culture questions were there, and around 2 questions were closely related to the art and culture subject. Next is environment and ecology, and the weightage of environment and ecology questions were 21, and definitely more than 20 questions are going to be there from environment and ecology, because environment and ecology is a core subject for the forest services and the prelims examination for civil services, and the forest services is conducted collectively, and because of that the environment and ecology question is going to be there. However, if you consider the civil services examinations only, then also environment and ecology, climate change and all these kind of topics become quite important, because these are the things, are the hot topics nowadays throughout the world, not even in India but throughout the world, and that is why you should be well prepared to the questions which are related to environment and ecology, climate change, pollution and all those kind of things, because definitely there will be questions in the prelims as well as in the mains even to the topics related to these things, right? And now the science and tech questions. So this year the weightage of science and tech questions increased considerably, and basically the questions were related to biotechnology, related to IT sector, information technology and all those things, and in total there were 17 questions from the science and technology topic. And this is the changing trend. UPSC takes a cyclic process of question pattern. In 2016 there were considerably high number of questions related to in current affairs and science and tech and all those things, and thereafter in the next year 2017 the core subjects were there, the basic subjects, basic questions were there. Thereafter the distribution started to change, and year on year they changed it in a varied manner, and again they reached back to the pattern more or less similar to 2016. So this was the situation. Now come to the questions distribution according to the level of toughness. So this year the questions related to NCERT were around 33 questions, and these questions were not indirect context with the NCERT, but more or less related to or indirectly asked from the NCERT subject matter. The information those are provided in the NCERT books, and that is why I go on to say time and again to the students that go through the NCERT religiously, and those students who would have developed the good conceptual clarity from the NCERT books might have scored well in these 33 questions. They would have committed less number of mistakes in this question. However, if we talk about the distribution of questions according to level of difficulty, then this year very less number of questions were such that were quite easy to attempt, only around 21 questions. However, this may differ from person to person and opinion to opinion, because some questions will be easy for me, however they might be tough for some other person, because they might be knowing, and if you don't know anything then even very easy things become very difficult for you. So that is a subjective matter, right, not an objective thing, and that is why I am not going to be rigid on this that these were definitely the easy questions. These might be tough questions for other students, however the moderate level or tough level difficult questions may become easy for them. However, I have tried to be more liberal in this and more objective in this, so that it would reflect the larger perspective of the students, right? Thereafter the moderate questions were around 34, so in total these two were making 55 questions, and these questions must be attempted. Easy questions should be attempted at all, and there should not be any mistake committed by the students. Try to minimize your mistakes as much as possible over there in these questions. Thereafter, in these 34 questions, there should be some smart work, some smart guess work, and definitely these questions must be attempted and try to maximize your accuracy in these questions. Thereafter, the tough questions. In the tough questions, there were around 16 to 18 questions were such that they should not be touched upon at all. Leave it like Rahul Dravid. Let the bouncers to go on, right? However, around 22 to 25 questions were such that they should be attempted. Some smart guess work, some elimination work, there like that we had discussed the paper, and in that I had suggested some of the ways in which you could have arrived to the answers quite easily, and that tricks and tips were provided in our YouTube channel also before the prelims examination, and those students who would have gone through those videos would have been able to attempt these questions quite easily. Those were quite simple and quite easy tricks to be utilized in the prelims examination, right? So this was the level of the paper, this was the distribution of the toughness level of the questions, and now the probable cutoff, the $1 million question, right? So here in 2020 the vacancies were around 726 and the cutoff marks was 92.51, right? And the next year 2021, even though the vacancies were less, then also because of the level of the paper, the toughness level of the question paper, the cutoff marks dipped by 5 marks and it came down to 87.54 marks, and we had predicted the cutoff as 85 plus minus 2. So you can analyze how close we were. And here this year the number of vacancies has increased by around 30%. This year the vacancy is 1011 posts, and in that also there are around 180 vacancies for IAS and 200 vacancies for IPS, the most dreamed jobs, right? Most dreamed posts. And this is the situation where you can utilize this large number of vacancies, do the hard work, do the preparation in such a way that there should be the maximum possibility of getting through the mains and score so much marks in the mains that you should be very least concerned about your interview and be in the final list, right? So that should be the approach. And because of this large number of vacancies, this is the largest number of vacancies that has been there after the year 2018, right? After 2018, this is the first time when there is vacancy in 4 digits. Otherwise always there were vacancies only in 3 digits, right? And here, because of this large number of vacancies, the intake for the mains examination will be also increased, and because of that definitely the cutoff marks is not going to dip by 30% because of the increase in the vacancy. Because what happens, maximum number of the students score the marks in the prelims examination in the midsection itself. Very high scores are very few, very low scores are also very less, but maximum number of students fall in the mid zone, and that is why it will not dip that much. But our prediction is that the cutoff marks may fall in between 83, around 83 marks plus minus 2. So you might consider the range between 81 and 85 marks. It may be a bit here or there, like it was 0.5 marks above our prediction. So here you should go on to prepare for the mains examination. Even if you are getting marks more than 80 marks in your prelims examination, go on to prepare for the mains examination. And this is the cutoff marks prediction for the general category, right? And the EWAs, the OBC and all those categories will be required less number of cutoff marks than this. Definitely they will be falling below 80 marks, Right, so here you should go on to prepare for the mains examination religiously with full dedication, 200% effort. And if you require any kind of guidance or mentoring or whatever is your need in the preparation matter, you can get back to us. You can contact us through the channels provided in the description below. And here I would like to inform you all that the JPSC foundation course in the English medium has already been launched by Computerology IS Academy. This course is being provided in the online as well as offline mode also, and here the course will be covering the complete syllabus, complete coverage of the syllabus of pre-comes mains, and the EMI facility and the installment and the scholarship and all those facilities are also available. And here personal mentoring will also be provided along with the printed and handwritten study materials, and the hand holding will be provided till the final selection. So those students who want to prepare for the JPSC examination religiously can register through the offline mode or on our website for the online or the offline courses. And do follow us on our social media channels. This is our Facebook and Instagram handle. This is our Telegram channel, and visit our website for different kind of courses. And do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Thank you very much and have a nice day.